All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Got the mic working. Appreciate it as always. All right. Let's get these 5x5s out of the way. Prep to adapt. Dan Phillips, thank you for the 5x5. Patty, thank you for the 5x5. Trail name occurs. Let's go. Dobie, Evolving Media, Freedom, Sunshine, Trapper Bob, thank you for the 5x5. Ozark, Jason, Groundhog, Mr. Landfill, thank you for the 5x5. Keith, Nasara, Kimberly, Raccoon, Mitch, thank you for the 5x5. Lori, Highlander, Jeep Dog, Tom, thank you for the 5x5. GMA, thank you for the 5x5. Fever, Eric, and Raven, thank you for the 5x5. Prep to Adapt, Sarah, excuse me, or Sarah. Thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. Raccoon Eyes, thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. Standalone, Suck It, thank you for the 5x5. The Watchman, thank you for the 5x5. All right. Popcorn still in frame. I should have taken it down. But anyway, Vegan, thank you for the 5x5s. Teddy Roosevelt, thank you for the 5x5. All right. Okay. Rip Curl, thank you for the 5x5. Toto, thank you for the 5x5. Brian, thank you for the 5x5. So, guys, Prepper Reveille, thank you for the Wild and Crazy. Brian, thank you for the 5x5. So, guys, tonight we're going to talk about kids being abducted off the street, right? And how that's never going to stop. That is something that they're going to continuously do. Crow, thank you for the 5x5. And Ryan, thank you for the 5x5. This is something that's going to continue to flourish, if you will. I find it interesting that politicians never focus on this. It doesn't matter what the race is, they don't focus on it. They might mention it, they might gloss over it really quick, but they do not focus on this. They just don't. You have so many kids or people that are missing worldwide. And for some reason, um, it's just not a thing that they care to talk about, or rather, sorry, care to focus on. And it's very, very alarming that they don't sit there and put all of their resources into finding these kids. Now, keep in mind, guys, um, yes, the Watchmen, exactly. So we'll see where this is going to go. Because I'm trying to be careful of my words, but on the other side of that, I'm like, whatever. The only reason why I'm trying to be careful because once they demonetize it, it shows up less. So unless I push it, yeah, it doesn't show up more. And once they demonetize it, it's done. Because they won't push demonetized videos, but they will push videos that are um, monetized or not, not the monetization button is not clicked at all. So if they do demonetize, I'll just click off the button. But anyway, with that, guys, politicians are making, again, they don't make any promises. They're like, yo, and when someone asks, when any politician is asked about this subject, it's almost like they went deaf. They didn't hear. Repeat that question again. Listen, we're going to try to tackle it. No one is taking it seriously. Not one person. And then, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene was like one of the only people who was, rebel rousing about the whole Epstein list. Nothing. You know that they blaming, right? Not they, but Tim Pool was blaming Candace Owens for the midterm election being lost, or that it could be lost because of her, because she's fracturing the conservative movement. And that is not remotely true or close to true, or even in the realm of being true. The MAGA party is fractured because Trump lied about the Epstein list, called it a hoax, told MAGA people that if they're still focused on it, that they're weak and stupid, or weak and dumb, or something to that effect. He threw his own party under the bus. But then you got people who are still MAGA licking his nuts. I don't get it. Once he turned around, guys, and threw his MAGA party under the bus for wanting the Epstein file released, which will lead to more people finding kids. It's a fact. Not a conspiracy theory, not a maybe. It will lead to more kids being found. Period. That list has all of the players involved, has all of the movement of these kids, has all of the gangs, if you will, or organized crime organizations in there that can tell you who's moving what, where they're moving, how many kids are moving. Hell, it might even tell you where the kids are being buried, because they are. I think a lot of them are being dropped off in the ocean, but that's just a different that's a different conversation. And once that happens, you're never going to find them. But a lot of kids, especially in South America, Central America, they're being buried in the deep parts of jungles and forests. They don't want to fucking find these people at all. So, of course, guys, now the MAGA party being fractured, it's being fractured because Donald Trump fractured it. It's being fractured because once people were asking the question of, well, where's this list? How come we don't have it yet? Once people started asking those questions and he started motherfuckering his own base, that's a problem. But the craziness, guys, is that he motherfuckered his own base and people are still following him. I don't understand that. This man said, yes, we're going to get the Epstein list out to you. Dan Bongino, yes, we're going to release it. Cash Patel, it should be released. They all did a 180 as soon as they got into that office. They must have looked at the list and go, whoa, no way. And were like, they knew a lot of people on it. It's probably what it was. But their demeanor, all of their demeanor changed when he talked about the list. Cash Patel in an interview, he was sitting by trying to look cool and shit with his fucking weak chin and bug eyes. You know, he was all like, yeah, man, we should definitely release the list. You know, and then I forgot, they asked him a question like, why haven't they released it yet? And I think his answer was, because there are a lot of people on it, or somebody might get offed or marked or whatever it was. And Dan Bongino was like, yeah, man, we got to release the list. Pam Bondi, yeah, we're going to release the list. And as soon as they got in the office, their demeanor changed. They were just like, yes, the list, we can't release it. It doesn't exist. Oh, you guys are crazy. Even Trump changed. There was something on that list that scared them. Now, I think it wasn't something on the list. I think it was someone told them something and scared the shit out of them. I think that's what it was. I think whatever it was, man, it scared them really, really bad. Because, again, their demeanor changed like you wouldn't believe. They went from almost partying to releasing the list like, yeah, we're going to get it done, to like, yeah, no. Matter of fact, Epstein didn't kill himself. Epstein did kill himself. Epstein was, we watched the tapes and nobody came out of the cell. Like, it was just like, what the fuck is this? Dan Bongino went from, Dan Bongino did a video and broke down all of the questions that needed to be asked about Epstein being murked. And he gets in office, he goes, I watched all of the tapes, and yes, he did kill himself. I'm like, what? It was such a 180. And when he said it like he was being controlled, like someone had their hands up his ass and his mouth was moving, but his brain wasn't connecting. And he was just going through the motions. It's the same shit we're seeing with the Charlie Kirk situation. We're seeing all of these quote-unquote conservative dudes not ask any questions and believing the FBI's narrative on how Charlie Kirk or why Charlie Kirk was killed. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of financial suspicious things going on with the finances. There was an audit that was supposed to be done that's now being refused. A lot of the donors that left Charlie Kirk or left when Charlie Kirk was in charge are now back on TPOSA, charging them. A lot of weird shit. These things need to be answered. But nope, not even close. Hans, yeah, Bongino did look sweaty and worried. Again, whatever he found out or whatever he was told. Then there's this conspiracy theory. The devil probably spoke to them. Had to be that. Something along those lines. Because these people went from being party animals to getting it released to looking like drones. Like somebody said, clones. They are clones. Listen, I doubt it very much, but okay. Let's go with the clone argument. They still look like they were worried when they talk about it. They look like they were unsure of themselves when they talk about it. Because the way they talk now, they're like, the way they talked about it now, they're just like, I'm like, yo, they look off. So something isn't right. But Whatever it was scared the shit out of them. Or this thing is so big that, like, if they did talk about it, the entire family line would be wiped out. There is that too. But I mean, like, listen, sometimes you got to put it all on the line to save all the kids. That's the other thing too. Maybe they're like, oh, maybe we can't find all the kids, so we're just gonna, we're just, I don't know, man. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the it'll never end. You know that, what's the name? Ghislaine Maxwell has something called puppy time. Her visitors in a federal prison, if I'm not mistaken, are allowed to bring their phones and laptops, and she's allowed to do business in her cell or from her cell. She's being coddled. She is the gateway into that world. She's the last of it. They haven't offed her yet because I think it would be too on the nose. But at this point, who's going to question it? I mean, we're all going to question it, but then that's it. They're going to tell us to move on. I mean, hell, Trump told us to move on. You know, so the puppy time thing's insane, man. I just when I heard the puppy time thing, I was like, no dice. That can't be real. It's real. Apparently, it's a real thing. Don't you think she gave up everyone? JLC, no. I don't think she did. Because if she did, she'd be dead. First and last, I heard that. I heard her father was part of Mossad. His father was keeping her alive as well. And that's the thing too, Johnny 38. You're right. If it's all fake, if it's a hoax, as Trump said, if it's a hoax, why is she still in jail then? She should be out. Matter of fact, her lawyer should be like, whoa. Well, if Trump said it's a hoax, then let her out. But they got her up. They got her on another charge though. It wasn't just that; it was something else. So maybe that's why they haven't. Who knows? But it's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. So again, her information, guys, uh, can segue into that industry. She also has information on every politician or powerful person or famous person who were banging kids. She has that information. She knows exactly who's who. And the thing is, guys, the traffickers, they're not threatened anymore about our justice system or any justice system for them. I mean, hell, look at that guy, that Israeli politician. Was it Vegas or Arizona or Texas? It might have been Texas. The guy that was trying to meet a kid, he gets arrested, gets brought back to the precinct. They give him all his shit, pack him, and send him about his way back to Israel instead of trying him. Like, he went to court, and the judge was like, "Oh, they released him on some bullshit." He got on a plane and went home. They didn't take his passport from him. They didn't. Yo, you or I, man, we have unpaid parking tickets. They're like, "Oh, you can't leave the country." This guy was meeting to diddle a child, and they let him go. And now he's in the wind. He's in Israel somewhere. He's never to come back here. He probably will come back here years later under another name, but that's how they treat him. It happened with a Chinese dude. There was a Chinese dude that happened to. Same shit. Fucking was meeting up or trying to meet up with a kid, and they found out he was like a big wig, and they let him go. Listen, they know that they can come here because apparently we are the number one um, people involved in this nonsense, in the whole trafficking, child stuff online. We are the number one offenders. The United States is. So these people come here to do this stuff, and they know they're going to get away. What about IHOP? I ordered IHOP. I used to like IHOP, not so much anymore. But yeah, man, it's bad, you know. And so these guys don't feel threatened anymore. They know, especially the higher ups, they're gonna come here. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna fly back home. If they get caught, they're gonna fly back home. I meant Israel, but there was a Chinese guy that also had did that too. He did it as well. This is like 2 years ago now. The Chinese dude. The Israeli guy was earlier this year. And listen, a lot of them get caught. There are a lot of Hasidic Jews that get caught doing this shit, banging their own kids and shit. And when it's found out, they don't fucking go to jail for it. At least here, not in New York. I know another state. One guy got in trouble for, I think he was, manhandling a chick, and in another state, he's getting the screw. He's getting the book thrown at him finally. But yo, this happens here in New York, and they get away with shit all the time. Yeah, IHOP used to be good a long time ago. I don't like Waffle House at all. Absolutely not. And it's funny, guys, right? So you get caught for you get caught in this industry. Customers will definitely go to jail, right? Normal people like you or I will go to jail. Traffickers, they'll get bargaining deals because they have a segue into that world. Keep in mind, guys, the politicians who are in this, they're the customers. They have less of a leeway unless they're a high powered politician. But traffickers and the elites will get away with this all the time. 100% of the times they will get away with this. Period. Normal people, they will go to jail. Now, if a normal person's like, listen, I know where they're hiding these kids. I know where they'll get a deal so that they don't go to jail. This will never end. There is no fear. There is no repercussion. People keep coming here to meet with kids. They're doing it every day. There's a guy that live streams, I think, or videos it, one of the two, and he meets up with people in Target and Walmart, and he chases these guys. There's one guy who goes hands on. I mean, he beats these people like you wouldn't believe. I'm like, holy shit. Guys are like, crying and scared. And like, I was just trying to make sure that they were okay. That's like the number one answer from these people. You were trying to make sure they were okay with a box of chocolates and a movie. Sure. Okay. It's funny, right? Chris Hansen was doing this shit, and then they got sued. I think they arrested the wrong person, and then they were suing him, and then they stopped. Right? It was something along the lines of them being sued, and that's why they stopped. Chris Hansen was on the right path. They stopped his show from doing it. They gave a bullshit excuse and why, but it came out as because they were being sued. Right? Or they arrested the wrong person. And the wrong person happened to be a higher up in politics or some shit like that. And that episode, by the way, never aired. Didn't even make it to the cutting room, if you will. And that came out, I think, a year ago. And I think Chris Hansen was talking about it. Again, they'll get away with this all the time. The only way to change the system, guys, is to dive deep into this world, find out who they are, and just put it to bed forever. There should be no anything. There should be no puppy time. There should be no court system. It should just no thank you. Lewis said Senator killed himself and his family sued. Was that the reason? Was that it? Was that the lawsuit? But Denny's has prime. Forget it. Prime rib at Denny's. No, thank you. And that's the problem too. The thing is, they're like, oh, it's always the wrong person. Well, obviously, you have to have eyes on. Like the guys that are coming to meet up with people, that's not the wrong person. That's a guy who's going to do some shit. That's how it should be dealt with. But instead, we're not doing that. We're giving them passes. We're making them deals. We're giving them puppy time. We're sending them packing back to their country. They're getting away with this. And there is no fear in this country anymore. Never was when it pertaining to that anyway. I mean, listen, that has been around for as long as man has been walking. Right? So it's not anything new. But when you start discarding kids like garbage, when you start treating them like objects, that's a problem. But here we are, letting them get away with this shit. Again, politicians are always going to go. Now in China, they don't play around, but this Chinese politician was high up. So I don't know what happened over there. I don't know if they stripped this guy of his powers. Israel's going to protect him all the way. And that's it. And this will never end. And we will continue to talk about this. Every now and again, they'll find a couple more kids to throw us a bone. They're like, oh, look what they're doing. No, you got to go after the gusto, all of it. But that's never going to happen. Never going to happen. We're going to continue to talk about this. You're going to have groups like Bear pop up, trying to help more of these kids out. But to get to the source, everybody, listen, There is a political game, and you have to understand if you get into this and you want to look for these kids, you can't play politics. You're all in or you're all out. Venezuela is heating up war. War is heating up in Venezuela. I don't even care about Venezuela, whatever happens over there. I do not care. That is a whole lie and a ruse if I ever seen one. Trying to tell us that, oh, the drug trafficking is why. Get the fuck out of here. Guys in the firehouse are like, but the drugs are, shut up. Fucking, we got 10 cartels that are way worse, trafficking more drugs and people at the same time here in the United States, and we're worried about Venezuela and those boats. Get the fuck out of here with that. You know what's more important? The 300 Chinese fishing vessels off the coast of Chile, right? Destroying the water and taking every bit of food they can out of there. Those guys are right over the border or the into international water, right at their water border, if you will. The Venezuela or Chilean army should be destroying them because they're fishing out all of their food from the water. I would be destroying them. If I was the Chilean government, I would be carpet bombing those boats like you wouldn't believe. I would absolutely go to war with China. Absolutely. Because they are destroying their ecosystem and their food system because they get a lot of their food from the water. There you go. We should be more worried about that. Worried about that as well. So not more worried about it. Worried about that as well. But instead, kids are being kids are going missing every day. Kids are being sold every day. No one cares. Like I said, we'll talk about this till we're blue in the face, but not much is going to get done. Here's what it is. December 7th. Yeah, that was 2 days ago. The anniversary. Anyway, I gotta go off the air now. I gotta go cook and edit. Two things I don't want to do right now. I just want to go to sleep. But I will see a lot of you guys, and I got to get up tomorrow morning. So I will see a lot of you guys tomorrow morning for the midweek report at 7 o'clock. Outside of that, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it as always. See some of you guys tomorrow morning, and see the rest of you guys Thursday for the doubleheader.